Damned Women by Charles Baudelaire. Delphine and Hippolyta. In the pallid light of languishing lamps, in deep cushions redolent of perfume, Hippolyta dreamed of the potent caresses that drew aside the veil of her young innocence. She was seeking, with an eye disturbed by the storm, the already distant skies of her naivete, like a voyager who turns to look back toward the blue horizons passed early in the day. The listless tears from her lackluster eyes, the beaten, bewildered look, the dull delight, her defeated arms thrown wide like futile weapons, all served, all adorned her fragile beauty. Lying at her feet, calm and filled with joy, Delphine gazed at her hungrily, with burning eyes, like a strong animal watching a prey which it had already marked with its teeth. The strong beauty kneeling before the frail beauty, superb, she favored voluptuously the wine of her triumph and stretched out toward the girl as if to reap her reward of sweet thankfulness. She was seeking in the eyes of her pale victim the silent canticle that pleasure sings, and that gratitude sublime and infinite which the eyes give forth like a long-drawn sigh. Hippolyta, sweet, what do you think of our love? Do you understand now that you need not offer the sacred burnt offering of your first roses to a violent breath which could make them wither? My kisses are as light the touch of a mayfly's, that caress in the evening the great limpid lakes, but those of your lover will dig furrows as a wagon does, or a tearing plowshare. They will pass over you like heavy teams of horses or oxen with cruel iron-shod hooves. Hippolyta, sister, please turn your face to me, you, my heart and soul, my all, half of my own self, turn toward me your eyes, brimming with azure and stars. For one of those bewitching looks, O divine balm, I will lift the veil of the more subtle pleasures and lull you to sleep in an endless dream. Hippolyta then raised her youthful head. I am not ungrateful, and I do not repent, Delphine, darling. I feel restless and ill as I do after a rich midnight feast. I feel heavy terrors pouncing on me and black battalions of scattered phantoms who wish to lead me into shifting roads that a bloody horizon shuts in on all sides. Is there something strange in what we have done? Explain if you can my confusion and my fright. I shudder with fear when you say my angel. And yet I feel my mouth moving toward yours. Do not look at me that way, you, my dearest thought, the sister of my choice whom I'd love forever, even if you were an ambush prepared for me and the beginning of my perdition. Delphine, shaking her tragic mane and stamping her foot as if she were stamping on the iron tripod, her eyes fatal, replied in a despotic voice, Who dares to speak of hell in the presence of love? May he be cursed forever, that idle dreamer, the first one who in his stupidity, entranced by a sterile, insoluble problem, wished to mix honesty with what belongs to love. He who would unite in a mystic harmony coolness with warmth and the night of the day will never warm his palsied flesh with that red sun whose name is love. Go, if you wish, and find a stupid sweetheart. Run to offer your virgin heart to his cruel kisses. Full of remorse and horror and livid, you will bring back to me your stigmatized breasts. Woman, here below we can serve only one master. But the girl, pouring out the vast grief in her heart, suddenly cried, I feel opening within me a yawning abyss. That abyss is my heart, burning like a volcano and deep as the void. Nothing will satiate that wailing monster nor cool the thirst of the Eumenids, who with torch in hand burn his very blood. Let our drawn curtains separate us from the world, and let lassitude bring us to repose. I want to bury my head in your deep bosom and find in your breast the cool of the tomb. Go down, lamentable victims, go down the pathway to eternal hell. Plunge to the bottom of the abyss where all crime whipped by a wind that comes not from heaven. Boil pell-mell with the sound of a tempest. Mad shades, run the goal of your desires. You will never be able to sate your passion, and your punishment will be born of your pleasures. Never will a cool ray light your caverns. Through the chinks in the walls, feverish miasmas filter through, burst into flames like lanterns, and permeate your bodies with frightful odors. The bleak sterility of your pleasures increases your thirst and makes your skin taut, and the raging wind and carnal desire makes your flesh snap like an old flag. Damned, wandering far from living people, roam like the wolves across the desert waste. Fulfill your destinies, desolate souls, and flee the infinite you carry in your hearts.